Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Intentional Living. This is the podcast where we have conversations about creating a life that truly aligns with who we really are. In this podcast, we slow down, we tune in, and we analyze what is going on around us and how we can improve and get better. I'm your host, Ferdinand Lewis. You can call me Ferd. Welcome, and thank you for being here. Before we get into today's episode, I would like to say a special thank you to everybody who reached out to me, who gave me great feedbacks, who gave me great advice, and gave me ways to improve this podcast as we go on. So I would like to say thank you all. Thank you all. Like my boy Howie told me, I should get a soundboard. If I had a soundboard right now, I would give you guys a lot of claps because it's really been truly inspirational and motivating how everybody been supporting me, from friends, families to strangers. So thank you, and we're going to the top with this. In the first episode, we talked about the direction of the podcast, which is living a life with true intentions. In this episode, we're going to lay down the foundation of what it truly means to live intentional. And the first step to living truly intentional is being awareness. You truly need to have awareness to go to the next level. And to have awareness, first you have to define what awareness really means, right? Like I said last week, I am no teacher, I am no mentor. I'm just a guy with two cameras and a microphone. So to get the real definition of awareness, we're going to go to the source, right? Define awareness. Awareness is the ability to consciously recognize and observe what is happening within you and around you. Your thoughts, feelings, physical sensation, environment, and behaviors in the present moment. You have to be present without judgment at all, right? So you have to be able to observe your life within you and around you with no judgment. The reason why awareness is the foundation of truly living intentional is because awareness helps us clarify why we do what we do, the habits we have, and the environment we're currently in, and how to change that environment if we need to change that environment. So awareness is truly the key, right? So you ever driving for 2 minutes and you realize that you've been on autopilot, like you wasn't aware of anything that was going on around you, which is very scary, right? And that's truly how most people are living their lives, on autopilot, lacking awareness, lacking of like what they need to do, lacking of where exactly what their goals are, and lacking direction in general. And in life, when you're navigating a ship, you need to know where you're going. You need to document your journey, so people after you can see what journey, like, not to make the same mistakes you made, right? That's why there's a lot of books. That's why there's a lot of self-help books to help us navigate through life, because there's people before us that's been through what we're going through, and they have specific routes to take to avoid certain mistakes. And that's why reading is fundamental. The first step to awareness is really recognizing your thoughts and your feelings. It's why you think what you think. It's why you feel what you feel, right? Without bias. So you can go to the source and see how you can implement changes to better ourselves. That is what awareness is, Awareness is turning the lights on in a dark room so we can really see what's around us, where the furnitures are so we don't bump into things, where the door is so we know when to exit, or when to enter, So that's why awareness is really the foundation of a success. We got to know who's around us, who means well, who don't mean well, because not everyone around us means well, right? We got to know who's around us that means the best for us, right? Because sometimes the people who comes at us the hardest sometimes are really the people that want us to win the most. And sometimes it might not seem that way, right? It might seem like the friend who always on your case about holding you accountable. To you, it might be annoying, but that might be the only friend that really is on your side, right? Because a lot of people, when they don't care about you, they don't say the things you're doing wrong. They just let you go about yourself, you know, because they're not bothered by it, and it doesn't affect them. So if you're doing things that are detrimental to your being, those people are either going to remove themselves, or they're just not going to hold you accountable because they don't care for you, right? So that's why we got to be aware of who's around us, who means well for us, and who wants us to propel to the next level. Because a lot of people want you to win, but they don't want you to win better than them. And that's a fact, right? So you have to be aware of those people and cut them out your life if need be, or distance yourself from them if you need be. You know, with love, no hate. It's just about betting ourselves for the better intentions of our lives. That's all it is. A reason why awareness is very important is because awareness gives us the gift of choice, right? If you're aware, then you are aware of the options that you have in life, as opposed to just going with the motion, right? When you're just going with the motion, you end up in debt. You end up being around people you don't want to be around with. You end up being with a partner that you don't really know, because you're just going with the motion. Maybe you felt good in the moment, but you didn't really analyze and see it through to think about who is really this person, who am I really, you know, and if you and this person really pair up perfectly, right? So that's why it's good to have awareness, because now we have choices. The more choices you have, the more opportunities you're gonna get to make better decisions that's gonna elevate your life. And that's why awareness is key. It's really the foundation of everything, right? A personal story for me is about awareness is I realized about 2 years ago, right? I'm a big smoker. And I realized I get everything done smoking, right? I'm a high productive smoker, right? But it hinders my energy, right? I realize when I wake up and I smoke in the morning, my day is a little slower than I would like it to be. Even though I'm getting things done, there's more to do, right? I will take a smoke break in between tasks, which will delay things that would take me like a day to do. I'm taking 2 days to do them, you know? And at a certain point, I started being aware of that, right? So what I started doing is, I love smoking. I didn't want to quit it completely. So what I've been doing lately is making sure that until all my task is done, there is no leisure, there is no break to take a break, to kick my feet up, to smoke, none of that, right? Until every task is complete, my house is clean, my job is done, I went to the gym. If I have errands to run, I'll run my errands. Then at night, when I'm ready to chill, relax, everything is done, then I could roll me a little joint and chill and relax, right? And I realized that has been way better for my life. My moods have been way better because regardless of what people tell you, right? A lot of people smoke, right? But people are not going to tell you that the weed slows them down. Me, I'm going to be honest with you. The weed slows you down, right? And the best way to fight that, if you love smoking like I do, is try to minimize it. Use it as a reward, right? So at the end of the day, when everything is done, all my tasks is done, I look at my to-do list and I see that, oh, this is accomplished, this is accomplished, this is accomplished. I have nothing else to do. Then I could kick my feet up, play some video games, and smoke a little weed, right? That's my awareness. That's a small part of it. And it's little things like that that we need to realize about ourselves to propel to the next level, right? Like, you can't think in a messy environment. So you got to wake up and be aware of your environment. Is my house dirty? Is my car dirty? Right? Because studies have proven you think better, you think clearer in a clean space. Right? So if I know those things, if I know these things that, like, if my space is cleaner, I could think better, I could work better. So let me clean my space. Let me make sure the space around me is better. Let me make sure my car is clean, you know? So I can breathe better, feel better, think better. And that's going to propel us to the next level, to really think what we really want, Because in a cloudy space, when your space is cloudy, your brain is cloudy, right? When your space is clear, your head is clear to think and plan out your goals. And that's what awareness is about. And that's why we need to be aware of our surroundings, of our environment, of our society, of first of ourselves, right? After you get the awareness of yourself, your environment, now you could propel out to society and see what's going on. You could be aware of the politics now, so you're not being fooled by propaganda, right? I'm not saying to be go be full head on politics, but you got to know what's going on in your climate, right? For example, I woke up this morning and all my stocks is red. My whole portfolio is red, right? But am I panicking? No, we've been there before, right? What goes down must come up. So right now, while it's in the red, if I have a few dollars, every little few dollars here and there, take my few dollars, throw it in the market. Why? Because when it's red, it's on sale. And when it goes green, we sell. Why? Because we're aware. Because I've been doing this for 6-7 years now, and I know the pattern. Everything that goes down must come up. America's the greatest country in the world. As long as we have the guns, we have the biggest military, the dollar ain't going nowhere, and these stocks are going to keep going up. So there's no reason for me to panic because I am aware, And that's how you truly stay at peace, by being aware, by not panicking. When you're not aware, you panic a lot. You think the world is crumbling on you when it's not. That's why being aware is the foundational of true intentional living, right? So day-to-day life, when you're aware of the chemicals they're putting on all our food, when you're aware of the poisoning of our water, what are you gonna do? You're gonna make better intentions to eat better. Because they give you choices. America's the land of choices. They give you the bad choices and the good choices. They just make the bad choices more appealing than the good choices, right? But it's ultimately up to you to choose what you want for yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you, right? So awareness is truly, truly the foundation of being intentional, right? You got to be aware. Sometimes you got to be aware. Once you're aware, maybe like, oh, I lack discipline in this area, right? I need to improve this skill, right? I need to improve better communications with my friends and family, right? I need to be a better lover to my partner, to my girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, right? So that's why awareness is key, because you realize where you're lacking and where you can improve. We're human. We're built to improve, right? We have the biggest computer in our brains, right? No matter what they tell you about supercomputers or whatever, we still, as humans, have the best computer that ever existed in the history of the world in our brains. So with knowing that, we can always improve that computer. We can always program that computer to better our lives in a better way. So that's why awareness is key, because once you're aware, that magic brain and that supercomputer in your head is going to go to work to try to find ways to better yourself. And that is why awareness is the key to intentional living. It's the foundational step to intentional living. You have to be aware of everything that is going on around you. Not saying you have to engage with everything that's going around you, but you have to be aware of everything that's around you. That's how you're able to see the dangers that's coming, and that's how you're able to see the opportunities that are coming. Because why? You are aware. Awareness is also a great tool for emotional regulation, right? When you are aware of what makes you angry, what stresses you out, what are your triggers, right? So now you're able to pinpoint these things when they're coming at you. Oh, this thing's about to make me angry. I could take a deep breath and not let it bother me, right? This situation is about to stress me out. My job's about to stress me out. Okay, what do I need to do? Okay, let me do these couple tasks so my boss could get off my case. You know, it's awareness. It's knowing where you at, where you lack, and where you going. And that's why we need awareness, right? When you're aware, people cannot plague you. People cannot play propaganda on you. Because you know who you are. You're aware of who you are. You're aware of your thoughts and your feelings. You're aware of your values. A lot of people are angry and depressed because they're not aware of who they are, and they're doing things that are not aligned with their true value, their true core values. And they get depressed, they get sad, and substance abuse, and drugs, alcohol comes in the picture. Because you're not aware of who you are and what you really want out of this life. And a lot of people go through that, but not us over here. Over here, we are aware of everything we are doing. Over here, we are aware of where we are going. Over here, we are aware of our past. Even though our past don't define us, but our past is a guide of the mistakes we should not make, or the things we should keep doing because they have brought us amazing rewards in the past. That's why awareness is key. But to be aware in this society is very hard, right? Because we are consistently being bombarded with distractions, right? We have our jobs to attend to. We have a bunch of to-do lists. We have a bunch of phone notifications that are going off. We have a nagging wife or husbands that's on our case 24/7. Kids, it's hard to be aware in a society that's consistently distracting us, right? So that's why we have to do our best, and that's when we master awareness. It opens the door to everything else, to all other opportunities. Sometimes you're not aware that you don't know how to read. Maybe you need to read a couple books. Maybe you don't have enough vocabulary. Like me, right now, I'm doing this podcast. My vocabulary is not up to the point I want it to be. So now I went to Barnes & Noble the other day and I started reading some books. Because I want my vocabulary to be up there to compete with the best podcasters there is out there. That's awareness, right? Because we want to propel to be better. We're not doing this just to shoot the shit. We're doing this to better ourselves and better the community. To do the work we were put here to do. And how can we do the work we were put here to do if we're not aware of the work that we need to do? Right? So that's why we're here having this conversation. And that's why we're here starting this podcast, to live an intentional life. It's not just to shoot the shit. We're gonna lie, we're gonna laugh and giggle. We're gonna drop informations that's gonna make your head spin. But it's to live a true intentional life. It's like I said to you, I keep telling you, I'm not a teacher, I'm not no mentor. So everything I'm telling you is things that I've either read in studies or I've heard experts talk about them. Psychologists, therapists, anyone that's an expert in these fields, right? That's who I listen to. I don't listen to the common folk. I go straight to the source of people who are doing the real studies, who are in the field, who are on the ground doing the hard work. That's where I get my information from, right? So right here it says how to cultivate awareness, right? How to build awareness in your day-to-day. This is not coming from me. This is straight from the source. Mindful pauses, right? So you have to take a deep breath when you're going through something to see why you're feeling what you're feeling right now, right? Take a deep breath. Why am I angry right now? What's going on with me? What's going on in my body? I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to be angry. When you're angry, you make bad decisions that you regret later, right? So be aware. Take a deep breath and be aware what's going on right now, right? Another step is journaling. When you write things down, you're able to get your thoughts on paper. You're able to see clearer. You're able to think clearer. And when you see your problems on paper, or you see your goals on paper, your brain could manifest it better. I don't know why, but that's what the studies have been telling me for the past 7, 10 years. Write things down. It's always better. Like for me, I need a to-do list. If I don't have a to-do list, I'm gonna skip mad stuff. A lot of stuff won't get done if I don't have a to-do list. If I'm just operating with just my brain, because I have a lot to do. Right? Breath work. Right? You have to do breathe work, like we were saying earlier. Take deep breaths. You know, do a little meditation, 2-minute meditation to reconnect with yourself, to ground yourself, to see, why am I feeling stressed right now? Why am I not feeling my best right now? And we always want to feel our best so we can do our best, right? And another one too is reflective questions, right? Sometimes you have to ask yourself questions. How did I get myself in this situation? What did I do to get myself here? And a lot of problems that we have are self-inflicted, right? And if we're aware of what's bothering us, then we can make the necessary changes to implement a better life. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's hard. Everything is hard. It's a challenge, you know. But eventually, it gets easier. It's like going to the gym. When you first go to the gym, you try to run a mile. It's gonna hurt. Then you keep going, you're going. After a week, you run a mile. It's light work. Now you're doing a mile in 8 minutes. Then in 2 weeks, you're doing a mile in 7 minutes. Now you in a month, you're running a mile. You're running 10 miles, not breaking a sweat. It's the same thing with everything. Because like I said earlier, we have that supercomputer that's always trying to improve us. That's always looking out for us. And that's why we have to be aware to use that supercomputer. Most successful people you see, they're not more successful because they're smarter than you. They're not more successful because they had more privilege than you. In some cases, yes. Right? But in reality is most successful people are successful because they are aware of their surroundings. They are aware of the opportunities that surround them and how to take advantage of these opportunities. If you're not aware, you cannot take advantage of these opportunities. That's why it's key to be aware, right? If you're in the present moment, you see there's a shortage of water, but you know where to get water, you can make money, right? You can make a lot of money because you're the guy that knows where to get water because you're aware of what's going on. And you stay ahead of the game, right? That's how you do it. And a good practice to do to practice awareness is, at the end of the day, is asking ourselves real questions, right? What burned you out today? What made you feel good today, right? What do you need to cut out to have a better day tomorrow? What do you need to do to have a better day tomorrow? When you start being aware, you might realize that you lack time, right? Like for me, I'm a person that handles a lot. Once I realized I needed more time, what I did, I wake up earlier. Sometimes I wake up at 4 in the morning because I know early in the morning is the only time I'll be able to gym, for me to work, then do all the stuff that I need to do for the day. And sometimes I wake up at 9, 10 o'clock because that's where it aligns for me to do today. Because I know I have nothing to do today. I'm going to wake up at 10. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do what I need to do. But it's being aware. Then you could set your schedule to match the life you want to live. Right? When I first started in my journey, I used to think that you had to wake up You have to wake up super early in the morning, take a cold shower, read, meditate, do all the extra stuff, right? I used to do all that. I still do, right? And you hear these gurus on the internet talk about, yeah, you got to wake up super early, which is great. You have to, right? My perspective changed one day, right? I woke up in my brother's house, right? Early in the morning. I'm doing my morning routine, doing what I got to do, running around. Then I get to working. Around 11 o'clock, I'm working. I turn around. My brother's sleeping on the couch. 11 o'clock. He was out last night. Drunk. He woke up. Like 10:45, I'll say. 10:45, 10:48-ish. He wakes up. He goes, bro, can you make me some coffee? I made him some coffee. All right. I'm like, look at this guy, man. He's waking up at freaking 11 o'clock at night. He got a whole business to run. I'm looking at him. I'm not saying anything. I made him the coffee, whatever. And he goes, can you be quiet for a second? I'm about to get in a meeting in 5 minutes. I go, all right, cool. So I go back to be doing my work, being quiet. This guy gets on the phone and closes a $750,000 deal. Just woke up, hungover, and he closed a $750,000 deal. I'm sitting there like looking at what the fuck is going on. This guy is hungover. He's hungover. You just woke up at 11 o'clock in the morning to close a $750,000 deal. He knows what works for him. Because he's been doing this for so long. He built his own routine. He knows when his meetings are. He knows when he has a lazy day. He knows when he has a whole full productive day and when he has to wake up at 6 in the morning. And when he can relax and wake up late to close a big deal. You know? So that's the luxury of having awareness. When you have awareness, you could build your life a routine around your life that fits you. And that's why awareness is the key today. So to end it with this, today's task is for you guys, for me also, you know, because we forever learning, right? We never stop learning. Every day is to identify where we lacking and how we could be more aware of our surroundings to propel us better. And you have to become aware of when you're getting out of sync, when you're getting triggered. So start journaling, start writing these things down. See when you are being triggered. See when you're being stressed out. Ask the questions of what is triggering me? What is propelling me to act the way I'm acting right now? Because you don't want to act out of habits, because we built habits from way younger. We could have built these habits out of toxic environment, out of survival mode. And we don't want to move out of habit. We want to move out of true intentions. We want to make real choices that aligns with us. And that is today's episode, awareness. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, share it, so we can propel more to the next level. I'm your host, Ferdinand Lewis. You can call me Ferd. Hope you have a great week.